Oh my gosh. Okay. There we go. So I thought I would make a video today talking about something that's really close to happening to me, something that I'm fearing greatly of. And a lot of people have asked me, why haven't your doctors did this to you yet? And today's topic is feeding tubes. So yeah, basically I can see me ending up with one very soon into the future, actually. Like, if not by March, in March, when I see my new GI doctor. And to be honest, I've always been the type of person who every time their gastroparesis flares up and is out of control and they lose a bunch of weight, I've always been like, no, I'm gonna beat this without a feeding tube. I've always been okay with drinking Ensure if I had to, or Nesquik, or like high calorie things like milkshakes, stuff like that. And now, so that was when I was a kid. Now I'm 20. I can't drink Boost, I can't drink Ensure, and like my volume of liquids that I'm able to take in is now going down too. And I can't control my blood pressure anymore, I can't control my heart rate anymore, and they really dip sometimes, and that in and of itself is scary. I've lost a lot of weight. I'm not going to even say how much. It's embarrassing how much. But I used to be 145 pounds, and if you guys on Instagram look at my before and after pictures, you know, and it's kind of been, I've dropped more weight since my last before and after pictures have been taken. And basically, I've tried protein shakes, I've tried Boost, I've tried Ensure, I've tried eating ice cream, I've tried baby food, I've tried like soup, I've tried like pushing myself to eat, I've tried like everything there possibly is. I've tried motility medications to make my stomach work so that maybe I'd be able to eat, and they didn't do anything. It sucks. And now here I am today, on the verge of becoming underweight. And I'm 20 years old. And part of me kind of hopes that when I see the nutritionist or when I see my GI doctor in March, what's going to happen is they'll say, you need a tube, but you know what, you've been dealing with it long enough, we'll surgically put one in you. Like one in my stomach. So nobody needs to know that I have one. Because that's my greatest fear. I don't want people looking. I don't want to not be able to work because I have like this thing in my nose because I can't get nutrition in me. It scares me. It scares me to think of what people are going to think if I go out in public and I have this thing in my nose. And I mean, I know I shouldn't worry about it because I know I'll be better off with one. But at the same time, I'm 20 years old and it's ridiculous to think people will look at me and automatically think, oh my gosh, she has to have an eating disorder if she has a feeding tube. And just to have people, like kids especially, who are like judgmental, to think of the possibility that every time I go out in public, if I end up with one in my nose, they're gonna look and go, Mommy, what's that in her nose? And yes, there's ways around it, and yes, I have an amazing friend who's had a feeding tube in her nose before, and she used to use like these animal stickers and just try to put that on her face, so the kids are more focused with the animal on her face as opposed to the actual tube. But I'm 20 years old. Like, no, I can't believe this is happening to me. And this is one thing my parents keep on saying, if you don't eat, you're gonna get fed through a tube. And it's their threats before, but I know this is the worst shape I've been in. Like, my nutrition levels have never dropped before. I've never had low blood pressure or low heart rate because of lack of nutrition, and I've always been able to come back from it, like, after 4 or 5 months of not being able to eat. It's scary. I don't want to deal with this, and this is probably the next step in my journey, and I'm full-heartedly preparing myself for dealing with that, but I'm scared to death. I just want to be a normal 20-year-old who wakes up and eats whatever they want without being in pain and nauseous and not feeling good. I want to be a normal 20-year-old who worries about what are their plans on their days off, what boyfriend, am I getting married, am I going to have kids, and I don't want to have to worry about, am I getting enough nutrition in me, did I get enough calories today, am I going to be down 5 pounds this week, am I going to maintain, am I going to be able to gain some of this weight back, am I going to be in the hospital, am I ever going to pass out because my blood pressure dropping so low, and that's a lot of stuff to take in and worry about. And basically that brings me on to today's topic, like feeding tube. How in my brain I know I need one, and I keep on telling everyone, if the doctor says, can we just feeding tube you, I'm willing to say yes, because obviously I'm 20 years old, it's my decision. But at the same time, there are days when I go back and I'm like, I know I'm like close to being underweight, and I know like I'm in horrible shape right now, but what are people gonna think? Like, because I still want, no, I don't want the sick part of my life, but I want the job that I have right now, and I want to be able to go out with freedom, not having like this, having to worry about doing feeds in public, or worrying about a nose tube, or like doing feeds in public. What if the thing starts beeping and I'm in a movie theater, or stuff like that. Like right now I like the freedom that I have, and I'm scared that getting a tube is gonna make me lose any freedom that I have. And I mean, yes, I have less freedom than a lot of 20-year-olds my age, because I don't really have a lot of energy to go out and do things anymore. I'm sure maybe a tube would give me more energy to go out and do things, but am I going to be so self-conscious that I'm not going to want to go out and do things? I don't know. Like, I just thought I would make this video talking about it, because I just kind of wanted to get that off my chest and put that out there for anyone who's asking me, why aren't you tubed yet? Well, basically, doctors we're trying other things first, and now though, and trying to get me into a motility doctor who can hopefully help me get there. And now that I'm close to seeing him in a month and a half, but I'm like still dropping weight like crazy a year after this whole thing has started. It's frightening. So, yeah. Basically, that's my video explaining that. My topic of the day. Random video. And I never make videos like this, so you guys probably realize that because I never make videos like this, I must really be stressing out about needing this. And, I mean, I know I do. But, yeah.